Have you ever noticed this strange feeling the day ends? You feel tired, but deep inside you wonder, what did I actually achieve today? Most people don't realize that time is not something we lose suddenly. It slips away quietly, politely, without making noise. At the end of the day, we sit back and wonder where the hours went. The truth is, time doesn't disappear on its own. We hand it over, piece by piece, often to things that don't really matter in the long run. What makes this more serious is that time is the only resource in life that never comes back with a refund policy. Many of us believe we are short on time, but in reality, we are short on awareness. We wake up with good intentions, but the day pulls us in different directions. Notifications decide our mood. Urgency replaces importance. Slowly, we start living reactively instead of intentionally. We become busy, but not effective. And busyness feels productive, so we convince ourselves that we are moving forward, even when we are standing still. One of the biggest reasons we waste time is not laziness. It is emotional discomfort. When a task feels boring, challenging, or uncertain, we escape. We scroll, we chat, we delay. These distractions give temporary relief, but they quietly steal long-term growth. Discipline, on the other hand, feels uncomfortable in the beginning, but it gives deep peace later. Growth always demands a small sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. People who achieve more are not extraordinary. They don't have extra hours hidden somewhere. They simply respect their time. They decide what deserves attention and what does not. They understand that saying yes to everything is actually saying no to their own goals. Clarity simplifies life. When your priorities are clear, decisions become easier and distractions lose their power. There is also a common misunderstanding that motivation will come first, and then action will follow. In reality, action often creates motivation. Waiting to feel inspired is like waiting for the wind before you start rowing. Small actions done consistently build confidence, and confidence fuels momentum. You don't need a perfect plan, you need a sincere start. Another silent time waster is comparison. When we constantly measure our journey against others, we lose focus on our own path. Everyone has a different pace, a different purpose, and a different set of lessons to learn. Growth is not a race. It is a responsibility to become better than who you were yesterday. Protecting your time also means protecting your energy. Not every argument deserves your reaction. Not every opinion deserves your response. Peace is a productivity tool. A calm mind works faster, thinks clearer, and chooses wiser. When you guard your inner state, you naturally stop wasting time on unnecessary drama. At the end of life, we won't regret the moments we rested or laughed. We will regret the chances we postponed, the discipline we avoided, and the courage we delayed. Time doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for sincerity. Start small, be consistent. Respect each day as a gift, not a guarantee. Because when you learn to value time, life slowly starts valuing you back. Sometimes the biggest misunderstanding we carry is the belief that we have plenty of time. We speak casually and say, "I'll do it later," without realizing that later is not a promise, it is an assumption. Time is very polite. It doesn't warn us before leaving. It simply keeps moving, whether we are ready or not. And one day, we realize that many opportunities didn't fail because we were incapable, but because we were unavailable to the moment. Most people don't waste time intentionally. They waste it unconsciously. The day begins with energy but without direction. When direction is missing, distractions take charge. We allow small interruptions to control big parts of our day. A few minutes here, a few minutes there, and slowly hours dissolve. The danger is not one wasted day. The danger is a wasted pattern that quietly becomes a lifestyle. We often confuse comfort with happiness. Staying in familiar routines feels safe, but growth rarely lives there. When something challenges us, our mind looks for shortcuts. It tells us to delay, to wait for a better mood, a better time, or better circumstances. But discipline means doing what is needed, even when the mind resists. Discipline is not punishment, it is self-respect in action. There is also a deep emotional layer behind procrastination. Sometimes we delay because we fear failure. Sometimes we delay because success will demand change, and change feels uncomfortable. So we remain busy with small, easy tasks to avoid meaningful work. But avoiding responsibility today creates regret tomorrow. Facing discomfort early saves pain later. Highly effective people have a simple habit. They decide their priorities before the world decides for them. They don't start the day asking, "What should I do?" They start with, "What truly matters?" This clarity acts like a filter. Many things come, but very few pass through. When your values are clear, time naturally aligns with purpose. Another reason time slips away is mental clutter. Carrying unnecessary worries, past regrets, and future anxieties drains energy. A tired mind works slower. Learning to let go is not weakness, it is wisdom. When you release what you cannot control, you gain time for what you can improve. Consistency beats intensity every time. A small daily effort may seem insignificant, but over time it becomes unstoppable. Big goals are not achieved through sudden bursts of motivation, but through quiet commitment. Even a few focused minutes each day, when done sincerely, can change the direction of life. Rest also has its place. Rest is not wasting time when it helps you reset and refocus. But escape disguised as rest steals momentum. There is a difference between recovery and avoidance. Honest self-reflection helps us recognize which one we are choosing. One day we will all look back and count our memories, not our possessions. We won't ask how busy we were, we will ask how meaningful our days were. Time is not asking us to rush. It is asking us to be present, intentional, and responsible. When you treat time with respect, it teaches you how to live with purpose, peace, and quiet confidence. Many people think that wasting time is about doing nothing, but in reality, it is often about doing too many unnecessary things. The day gets filled, the schedule looks busy, yet the heart feels empty. This happens because activity without direction slowly drains purpose. Life does not ask us to be busy, it asks us to be mindful. When mindfulness is missing, even meaningful opportunities pass by unnoticed. One of the quiet reasons time slips away is that we underestimate the power of small choices. We believe big changes require big actions, so we wait. But life rarely changes in dramatic moments. It changes in ordinary decisions repeated daily. Choosing to wake up 10 minutes earlier, choosing to focus instead of scroll, choosing effort over excuse. These small choices shape our future far more than sudden bursts of motivation. We often blame external distractions, but the real challenge is internal restlessness. When the mind is unsettled, it seeks constant stimulation. Silence feels uncomfortable, focus feels heavy, and stillness feels unproductive. But a scattered mind multiplies effort, while a calm mind multiplies results. Learning to sit with discomfort instead of escaping it is a powerful step toward using time wisely. Another trap is perfectionism. Many people delay starting because they want everything to be perfect. They wait for the right conditions, the right tools, the right confidence. But perfection is not preparation. It is procrastination wearing a smart mask. Progress begins the moment we accept that growth is messy and learning happens along the way. There is also a deep connection between values and time. We always find time for what we truly value. If something matters enough, it naturally gets space in our day. When time is wasted, it is often a sign that priorities are unclear. Clarity does not come from thinking more, it comes from deciding better. Once you decide what matters most, time starts arranging itself around that decision. Many people exhaust themselves by trying to do everything alone. Learning when to ask for help, when to delegate, and when to say no is a form of wisdom. Saying no is not rejection, it is protection. Protection of energy, focus, and purpose. Every yes costs time, so it must be spent thoughtfully. There is beauty in routine when it is aligned with purpose. Routine removes unnecessary decisions and frees mental space for creativity and depth. When daily habits support long-term goals, life feels lighter, not restrictive. Discipline then becomes a form of self-care, not self-control. We must also remember that reflection saves time. Pausing to review what worked and what didn't prevents repeated mistakes. A few minutes of reflection can save hours of regret. Wisdom grows when experience meets awareness. In the end, time is not asking us to become someone else. It is inviting us to become more of who we are meant to be. When we respect time, we respect life. When we live intentionally, even ordinary days feel meaningful. And slowly, without force or pressure, we realize that we are no longer chasing time. We are walking with it, calmly, purposefully, and with quiet confidence. One of the simplest truths of life is also the most ignored. The way we spend our days is the way we spend our lives. Yet many of us live on autopilot, assuming that tomorrow will magically be different while today looks exactly the same as yesterday. Time does not transform our life on its own, it only reflects the choices we repeat. When those choices are unconscious, life feels rushed. When they are intentional, life feels meaningful. We often believe that wasting time is a modern problem caused by technology, but long before screens existed, distraction lived in the human mind. Technology only amplifies what is already unsettled inside us. A restless mind looks for constant engagement, while a clear mind chooses depth. Learning to manage attention is more important than managing time, because where attention goes, time naturally follows. Another silent reason time slips away is overthinking. We think about doing, planning, and improving so much that we forget to actually begin. Overthinking creates mental fatigue without physical progress. Action, even imperfect action, creates clarity. When you move forward, doubts slowly lose their grip. Waiting for complete certainty often means waiting forever. Many people feel drained not because they work too hard, but because they work without meaning. When effort is connected to purpose, energy increases instead of decreases. Purpose does not have to be grand, it only needs to be sincere. Even small responsibilities, when done with awareness, bring fulfillment. Meaning turns effort into devotion, and devotion removes the feeling of wasted time. There is also a habit of postponing difficult conversations and important decisions. We avoid them because they feel uncomfortable. But unresolved issues occupy mental space constantly. They stay in the background, stealing focus and energy. Addressing what we avoid is one of the fastest ways to reclaim time and peace. Courage saves time more than comfort ever will. Another lesson time teaches us is patience. We want quick results, instant feedback, and visible success. When progress feels slow, we assume something is wrong and give up, but real growth is often silent. Seeds grow underground long before they appear on the surface. Trusting the process is not passive, it is disciplined faith in consistent effort. Balance is also misunderstood. Balance does not mean giving equal time to everything. It means giving the right amount of time to what matters most in that season of life. Trying to do everything equally leads to exhaustion. Wisdom lies in adjustment, not in perfection. Gratitude also changes how we experience time. When we are grateful, moments feel fuller. When we are constantly dissatisfied, even long days feel empty. Appreciation slows the mind and deepens experience. A grateful person wastes less time because they value each moment more. At the end of the day, time is not asking us to hurry. It is asking us to be present. When presence becomes a habit, procrastination fades. Life begins to feel less like a race and more like a journey. And in that journey, we discover that using time wisely is not about doing more, but about living better with awareness, intention, and quiet strength. Life gently teaches us that time is not fast or slow. It is our relationship with time that creates pressure or peace. When we feel constantly rushed, it is often not because there is too much to do, but because there is too little clarity. Without clarity, every task feels urgent. With clarity, even a busy day feels calm. The mind stops running when the heart knows where it is going. One reason we waste time is because we underestimate the cost of distraction. We think it's just a few minutes, but those minutes carry our focus away. Focus is fragile. Once broken repeatedly, it becomes difficult to rebuild. A focused hour can produce more results than an entire distracted day. Learning to protect focus is not rigidity, it is wisdom. Another quiet reason for delay is self-doubt. When we question our ability, we delay action. We wait until we feel confident, forgetting that confidence is built through effort, not before it. Growth demands courage first, comfort later. Every time we act despite doubt, we strengthen trust in ourselves. That trust becomes the foundation of discipline. We also lose time trying to please everyone. Saying yes becomes a habit, and soon our schedule belongs to others. Pleasing people may bring short-term approval, but it often steals long-term peace. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges that protect what truly matters. When you learn to say no respectfully, you create space for your purpose to breathe. Many people live with the illusion that they will get serious someday. Someday is an imaginary place where responsibilities are lighter and motivation is higher. In reality, life does not suddenly slow down. The only real moment available to us is now. Beginning today, even in a small way, is more powerful than waiting for ideal conditions. There is also wisdom in simplicity. When life is cluttered with too many goals, too many commitments, and too many distractions, progress becomes scattered. Simplifying does not mean lowering ambition. It means increasing effectiveness. When you reduce noise, you amplify results. A simple plan executed well is better than a perfect plan never started. Reflection plays a key role in using time well. Without reflection, we repeat mistakes. With reflection, experience becomes learning. Taking a few moments at the end of the day to observe your actions brings awareness. Awareness brings improvement. Improvement brings fulfillment. This gentle cycle slowly transforms life. Rest must also be understood correctly. Rest that renews you is productive. Rest that numbs you is escapism. The intention behind rest matters. True rest prepares you to return with focus and enthusiasm, not avoidance. Ultimately, time is not measuring how much you do. It is revealing who you are becoming. Every choice is shaping your character. When you choose discipline over distraction, courage over comfort, and purpose over impulse, time becomes your ally. Life begins to feel aligned, not forced. And in that alignment, you realize that achieving more is not about rushing through life, but about walking through it with awareness, sincerity, and inner balance. And one day, you will look back and smile not because life was easy, but because you finally stopped wasting it.